Alright, so we're reading some of the national spirits over here. We're gonna read them. The slump over here, about generation. Fit of victory, liberated war, like it's looking too good. I do the transform me so. 36. It's that time again. Soon the left wing of the party will hand power back to the right wing once again. Unity and democracy continue a peace. Here's our grand coalition. He shall become the grandest of the coalition. This going. Let's see. Get that going up over here. There's some mills over here actually. Maybe some fish. So got simmering over here. You guys don't like the description for it, then I'm not gonna be able to. No, I'll barely read. I'll read that once. Do Babo or something. Yeah, I do Babo. But there's also a sub mod that's gonna be coming out for San Marino. Very interesting. Sub mod for what I've seen. Alright, legendaries.
Ordini.
Yeah, I'll wait until you get that.
Pronto.
But fair, at least we got some stuff for our military. The military. All sorts of things we got going on over here that's kinda
Attento.
Very Lots of Alright, till we build that up a bit. Get some more support equipment. Gotta get that with our one Civ factory. Nice. Very nice actually. So great. You see, we got suck lib, but see, we've been waiting for your boy to come into power. Don't know when that will be, don't know how that will be, but shall be something. It'll be sad. Anyway, I was like to do something with Austria, considering that they got themselves over here. I would like to do my Good was a Raven low playthrough. No, but also maybe Cobble Radic as well. But a more interesting communist. I still like to do Mercy over here as well. Anyway, crisis of confidence. I'm gonna save over here because I don't remember. Yeah, which one I'm supposed to pick? Anyway, Aveno Bonomi, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Italy, and informal leader of the left wing of the United Democratic Party, gauge out the crowds and milling through the Pisa del Popolo. He took a long sip of his espresso and quickly flaked his eyes over the newspaper in front of him. Other political editorials this week, mainly concerning the upcoming handover of power to Sturzo and the right wing of the party as he read. He found himself growing increasingly agitated, but without any clear reason. What was wrong with him today? To begin understanding, he walked back to the police shigri. With that word, one word that brought so many Italians to accept it, even the Doros, about 15 years of the PDIU rule. Democratic. Since the beginning, the trust he shared with Giolitti and Sturzo, yeah, I seized upon that word. It was the word that brought so many millions of Italians to the voting booths to vote for the new party. It was a word that also fueled the mediocre rise of the Partito Radical, but from the Partito Socialista irrevocably, a string of the Partito Popular and the Credo. Now this word, this idea, has begun to itch, and eventually to tear at the conscience of the man of whom it was so clear. Was this really what he had hoped for? The PDIU was created to unite fighting against extremist aggression, but it had accumulated so many of the worst flaws of the Liberal Party: corruption, cronyism, cynical manipulation. This was according to PDIU's bread and butter. Worst of all, though, By taking up the mantle of Italian democracy in the widest way possible, it become a party of political monopoly. No safe choice for the Italian people in the world turned away from freedom. Stealing into the shade of his office, he removed his previous private diary from a locked drawer. As much so, he took up his favorite pen and wrote the following. For the migration, we will not soon to that, which is most important. If I'm remembering this correctly, I think this will lead this into the thing with the stuff. Very nice. No speech. Bonomi stood in front of the parliament, making this speech with a tough decision to make. What he believes in necessary not only here his conscience, but the potential to save Italy from going yet another tyrannical regime. Took a deep breath and began speaking. Ever since the end of the Mentor in the dawn of the 20th century, the Italian nation has been the defining nation of the world. Not necessarily in our nation in the global sense, but certainly in our policies. The end of the Great War saw Europe falling into the clutches of radicals, reactionaries, councillors, and accelerationists. But not us. We stand here today to beat a freedom and democracy, or at least we thought. My friends, for a party that calls itself democratic, the practices we are disrespectful, even insulting is democracy. For 12 years, this party hadn't lost a single election, not just because of our fervent opposition to radicals from left and right, but because of the wide range of people it appeals to. This party brings together political factions that would oppose each other. If it were, let's say, the United Kingdom, or Sweden, or any other still functioning democracy with its own various elections come to transform it, though. The Prime Minister swears to lead them between Syriza and Destra back and forth so that each faction has a majority when their turn comes. Many refuse to see this, but Italy has become a one-party state for the mere sake of anti-extremism. What is achieved? It is only allowed for corruption and cronyism to grow. These reprehensible things are rife within the party. Many among you are only interested in satisfying your inherent insatiable thirst for power. How can there be someone looking at the hands of ruling and safeguarding the interests of the minority in the country with no real opposition? Because of these reasons, my friends, I declare the PU Sinistra shall participate in the elections in earnest. We shall no longer continue the power sharing arrangement. For the entire Italian parliament was in uproar. At first, more conservative members of the PDU denounced Bonomi. Even some people on the left shouted him down. Eventually, the outrage spread across Parliament. Even the most cool-headed individuals started shouting and heckling their peers. Some offended melodies, many others criticized him. But the full ramifications of this event would be too early to tell. So this story does not look good for the PDU. Doesn't look good for any of us. It did. Because we were doing this political suicide, but gonna begin the Partito di Radicale Italiano. And it's going to be interesting. Collapse of the coalition. Coalition will collapse, but. Guess I wrote that every part of Italy today following Ivan Bonomi's speech in Parliament where he added the PDIU was undemocratic and corrupt. Many believe this was merely a pretext to refuse to see power to do so. He dissolved the speech with anybody would expect it to be. Shouting matters quickly started with members of the PDIU distro denouncing the demonizing Bonomi. Framing his actions to portray the PDIU and the Italian democracy, though a few hardline members of the left of the PDIU along with parties outside the coalition support Bonomi's simply with varied motives and varying intensity. Long after the speech, the party began to send out the cable with many of its members declaring their departure from the coalition. Perhaps more notably, Luigi Sturzo himself had defected to the Lista Nazionale. A conservative move, given that his party was founded and by many other former fascists. Most notably, Del Babbo. Similar factors have occurred all across the PDIU as the party came crashing down like a house of cards. More left-leaning members of the PDIU followed suit, some joined the Liberal Partito Radicale Italiano and others becoming part of the Social Democratic Party. First time since in more than a decade, political violence had erupted across the Italian nation. There have been many reports of protests and riots across the country. Street fights are becoming increasingly common, while there have even been reports of deaths resulting from between political groups and hotspots of political extremism. Most in the city of Milan, where gunfights broke out, resulting in the deaths of 10 people. Goddamn. In any case, the syndicate funds have also exploited the situation. Organized strikes and marches across the country to make the most of the situation, but opportunity space to hold up this movement, which will never happen. Because it is our path for them. Anyway, with such radical changes swiftly taking hold of the Italian nation's uncertainties of the Italian nation, uncertainty is spreading, and they're looking to feel what the future may bring. The time has come to decide our fate. Indeed. Yeah. So now, stores part of Lisa now, so now they're gonna get subsumed by Babo. Huh. At the beginning of the day, no zero. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, the 1938 election. Only a few days ago, the future of Italy did not seem to have much difference in the years of relative stability and prosperity that Italy has seen under the service of the PDIU. The unbelievable power held by the PDIU seemed so unshakable that some remarked that the PDIU could never be overthrown. The government is a leviathan in Italian politics, and ironically, this statement was proven to be true. It did not say words would have been capable of altering the PDIU, only the PDIU itself could manage such a thing. If Bonomi's decision to contest the election results and block Sergio from gaining control of the PDIU, that's exactly what he did. PIU exploded from the resulting political chaos. Many of its members joined other, generally more radical parties. And this conquest has been that many previously minor parties have seized the moment to gain popularity among the Italian population. Some parading demonstrating for the cause or launching campaigns to support. Most notable of these parties are the Partito Radicale Italiano, led by Francesco Nitti, and the Lista Nazionale, to which these sorts are affected to Nationale. Francisco Serrano Nitti, the old star of radical liberalism, has seen growing popularity for its play to practically fix the economy by subsidizing individual farmers, centralizing the land sales, reforming currency, and expanding the banking sector. PR supports a wide range of social and economic reform, including improvement of the welfare system, dividing Italian territories and Africa, and expanding rights for women. Part of the most ambitious plan to crack down the corruption festering in Italy and thus help bring the prosperous Italian South on par with the economic giants of the like Milan. Florence to Rome. Moreover, Francisco also aims at reuniting the armed forces by developing industrial complexes, pooling the army rounds, and acquiring all branches of Italian military. Luigi Sturzo, on the hand, still supports the former conservative who have been radicalized by the structure of the PDIU, while some single-issue voters who tend to be composed of the more religious members of society. Although claims to have reinvented his policies, which include plans to implement a socialized economy, drawing emphasis on the truth of Catholic values. Lista Nazionale have also highlighted that aim to brutally crack down on what has been dubbed the three pledges: separatism, corruption, and legalism. The airline has also promised to rebuild the Italian economy and use the riches of the colonial empire to elevate Italy to new heights. This election is essentially the first contested election in Italian politics in many decades has led to massive amounts of political polarization within the country. As the Italian nation stands as a fork in the road, people can only wait to see what the future holds. Francisco Serrano Nitti and the PRI win the elections. Partito Radicale. The Italian Radical Party has triumphed in a comprehensive social liberal platform. It appears that modernization of all parties is going running out the window. Indeed. We've become more powerful than any democracy. He says what I think. You have to remember Beloved. Bill something. Incident in Venice. The reason the party was overshadowed by a shameful incident in the port of Venice is not known why, whether it was another halt and the confusion in the interior of Bear Craig between the town state, or due to someone's much intent and annoying misunderstanding between the escort and DT design. They got the pianos and luggage in the carabinieri turned to bloodshed and skirmish. Passenger divisions coming on the crossfire panic created even more chaos and crowding. Now the Venetian authorities will not only have to deal with the reputational and human losses, not only will they storm the press, but also try to appease the ruler Fiume. Unpleasant situation. Oh yeah. The Annunzio demands an investigation. The evidence is being caused a significant in Italy again. Blaming the nation to support is an opportunity that Fiume. This time, some people justify the use of violence against officials who appear to have succeeded authority. Boys condemn the psychopathic and inadequate nature of the Fiumans. But what was at stake in the newspaper trial was most of the time was the present. The present headache for the minister. A clock running here and now. The Venetian event was a real clusterfuck of misunderstandings and unspoken. And the minister once again reflected on the fact that the executive branch needed a total overhaul. The nearly sent order was confusing and misunderstood, so the justification for the prefect sounded. Court does not explain where the luggage, which according to the police report she seized during the incident, went. The prefect only shrugged. The only thing he could do was to shrug and promise the compensation. This oakhead probably not staying in this position long. But that's not the other problem. The human adventurer spoke with his mouth was Enrico Carradini. The spiritual writer managed to distance himself from extremists in time to severe years of public unrest, but maintained friendly personal ties with the Annunzio. This proved especially invaluable in the absence of formal diplomacy between states. This is why this morning, Chiaradini brought a letter from the Commandante to the government of the Kingdom of Italy, demanding the unconditionally admit Italy's guilt of what happened. To conduct an open investigation, depart the entire city administrative advance, and to pay compensation to the victims if human side. The people have voted heated debate amongst the government, which the conservatives strongly oppose. We consider putting for powerlessness before the end until, while liberals are still inclined to accept demands to attention. We could do an investigation, but let's do an investigation. Shall see what the demands for the time being. This has been a win for them, but they won't be able to stay over there forever. Or really for long. Let me get this going. Yeah, let's get that going. Very nice. And there goes Basil. Doing lots of things again. Anyway, the incandescent majority. Francisco Nitti. Socialism, I'm going to read over here. Socialism is a political ideology that believes individual liberty requires a level of social justice. Like classical liberalism, social liberalism endorses a market economy and the expansion of civil and political rights and liberties. The difference in that it believes the legitimate role of the government includes addressing economic and social issues through pragmatic and state intervention. Under social liberalism, the good of the community is viewed as harmonious with the freedom of the individual. And the Partito Radicale Italiano. Francisco Nitti. So you get this majority. After still a campaign, the Partito Radicale Italiano has secured a majority of parliament. No coalition necessary. Can a spectacular Jimmy go to waste? Indeed.
Ordini.
Immediately. Meanwhile, there's Yanni. Get you over here. I'm trying to get that going. Let's do our 15 points, amigo. The party ran a platform drawn up to solve all of Italy's short-term problems, spearheaded by Francisco Nitti. Listen to the summary of the program. Shh, he's about to start. Indeed. And the bread. That bread. Getting that bread, amigo. Anyway. Great. Good plan. It's begun. I think this is the event that I remember. Well, there was one event I specifically remember about Nitti. Prime Minister Nitti took a deep breath, savoring the crisp morning air outside the Palazzo with the Montecatorio. The Council of Deputies just passed a motion to adopt the platform by an unbelievable margin, 300 to 195. An enormous majority, now the old PDIU has been dissolved. Now he straightened his coat and prepared to explain for the first time the events of its platform to the Italian people. My fellow citizens, today I am proud to say that the government of this kingdom has approved my 50-point plan to secure the future of the country. I realize that the details have been left a bit vague and I apologize. Let me run through the point of them now. First, we must have civil peace and order. This is the first duty of every government. Therefore, we will promote measures to bring about peace both here in Italy proper and in our overseas territory, and that we can bring you rich economic revitalization, starting with agriculture and finance. Using the foundation, we can then fight unemployment through expansion of public works and armament sectors, while fighting poverty through welfare reform, and finally bringing the South up to the poetry of the North, to the parity in the North. Once the mainland has been dealt with, unemployment will be further reduced by significant military civil projects in our overseas territories. Capping things off by comprehensive military administration reforms overall. We will stop at nothing to bring the people of Italy to a future of liberty and prosperity. As the left joined began to pepper the Prime Minister with questions about particulars. All except one, anyhow. He counted his fingers again. 10, 11, 12, 13 if you restretched it, maybe. He was missing something, but he was sure that ETA would only be at 12 of his 13 points today. He shrugged. Oh well, it doesn't matter much anyway. He's doing it. That's a handle of things. Our first priority is to counter public and restore civil society, both in the proper and in overseas. Gotta bring order to this fucking place. and bring our economic power to a new height. I move. You should kill the at home. Focus on the internal stuff. It is over one political militants from the FRS EDGNN to the Chemikinia of the LN. That's about 1,000 human sympathizers. Let's normalize these groups and return them to the gym of Silicosphere. That's the only way to defang and de-radicalize people without bloodshed. And the point turns back in there. You compromise. Yep. You get crude as well. Yep, there goes that one. The Japanese Civil War. If the sovereign is easily provoked to fund resorting to arms and neglects agricultural military training, please adventure to the War Federation, then ruin is possible. Sounds easy. War is not bullets. By encouraging civil discourse and prioritizing non-violent solutions to law enforcement crises, we can swing a popular agreement rather than blunt force. Let's have a talk. Yeah, that would be best, actually. Use that good old-fashioned diplomacy rather than beating the fuck out of problems, because beating the fuck out of them isn't really the best for a lot of things. A lot of problems you can create with that. Loads of problems. Ow, fuck. Alright, there goes Madagascar. Now let's do cash for the weapons. The battalions certainly have a right to defend themselves. They have no need for heavy machine guns. For their minds, let's offer to buy this dangerous equipment. As long as citizens are more likely to hurt themselves than anyone else. It's victory in Madagascar. We'll just see how Madagascar's gonna be once they get content. Very interested. But when you see the fading sun? The fading sun. Alright, those are tanks. And there goes Brazil. Well, red Brazil. See how the other Brazil is doing. Korea. They have a little uprising. Cashing for the weapons. And for militias, the clubs. An armed man without orders is not that dangerous, but an organization only needs one armed man to be a disaster. Now that most of these heavy weapons are coming out of the streets, let's reach out to the former fringe parties and help them contest elections. Better to see in the parliament or two than dozens of lives in civil disorder. The pragmatic way. Good old pragmatic way of governance. Ah, damn it. Black collapsing. See down a bit.
Pronto all'azione.
Gonna concentrate over here. Turns out the Russia. Hopefully we can get production equipment popping off. Look at that. Right, Japan. Very nice. See, by the time we cut it up, we already did a series of Japan. Wish you may. Anyway, Peace overseas. Libya is the devil's own playground. And the equatorial territories are never sparse. They're probably organized. It's the first state for peace in our overseas territory. Indeed. Just gonna ignore Ethiopia. Hello, Ethiopia. We had Libya for the longest, so it doesn't make sense. Overseas. Many carrots, one stick. We are allowed to offer the people of the territories education, healthcare, a far higher standard of living, and they get it all, even if they don't take citizenship. However, tax our citizens and their property are unacceptable. We will respond with public force to all such instances. So two-way street. Even if you're a part of our territory and you ain't a citizen, fine by us. As long as you don't do anything harmful, to say at least. That by a bit. Where's the fight in Libya? Oh, Libya, 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 Libya. Land of olives, beautiful seas, and a bloody guerrilla war against the Sunnis. Please stop immediately. We will empower Carlos Salazar, our former foreign minister, Mr. Plenipotentiary to the Sendusi order. He'll get out of this damn mess. Anyway, the 24-hour demands 1936. The 24-hour Le Mans, an automobile race, has been held yearly in Le Mans, France since 1943. Although this tradition began before the coup took place until power, the avant-garde French government enshrined this tradition as a patriotic display of moderation and speed, and cherished the opportunity to demonstrate a tender speed over their rivals, particularly Germany. The state this year's event were particularly captivating, as it marked the first time in the history of Le Mans that the two nations with opposing modes of production would compete against one another, representing the French with the Bugatti Corporation, who will give it a large amount of investment and support from the futurist government and to swear loyalty to the avant-garde state, as well as the benefiting from the corporatist structure of the economy. On the opposite end of the spectrum was the Deutsches Automobilwirtschaft, a standing organization for the Germans who did not see any corporations need to participate otherwise. The German team consisted of hand-selected trade union members alongside their representatives who were presented in order to ensure that labor involved in preparing for the race met German labor condition standards. Despite all proceedings taking place on French soil. Participants include Bentley of the United Kingdom, Alfa Romeo of Italy, and Ford of the United States. Ford and Alfa Romeo companies were in fierce competition with the quality over quantity philosophy of Alfa Romeo, going toe-to-toe with the ingenious protective capabilities of Fordism. Something I think Steve uses in Delta Rose, yeah. I remember something with him being interested in Fordism. Anyway, ultimately, Bugatti came in first place, with the German DA coming in narrow second, and the main teams ranking in following Alfa Romeo third, Bentley in fourth, and finally Ford coming in last place. These resulted in Italy fans accusing the French of cheating and the violent brawl taking place in the crowd. Eventually, the crowd had to disperse, and both France and Germany issued official statements of condemnation for the violence that took place. Mierda, Enzo will be most upset. And it. What? Another 12 more years? Yeah, that's a long prime ministership. 12 years, yeah, damn. A lot can happen in 12 years. Soon they okay Victoria Moldova, and they just got wanted. Oh man. We'll be pacifying Libya over here soon. I want to read this. I'm probably gonna be ending the episode. And then we get to expand beyond here. Even though not like too long, but man, so I get kind of tired. So let me glimpse of eternity. Again, Mario wrapped his glasses slowly as he stood, squatting into the billowing sand of the Libyan desert as he walked out of the girl's safe zone. Some began to be factory to the growing danger of Adam. A young Italian one walking on with nothing but khaki shorts and Arabic Facebook. God only knows what the Bedouini would do to him. Once they call him, he swallowed down his fear, reminds of his mission. He was not here to harm the locals but to help. His studies had told him that charity was the pillar of Islam, and he personally doubted that the Sendusi tribesmen had found he was the leader were quite so pious. Checked his compass and map. This ridge was the site Well, better to sit way out for the inevitable. He's up against the sagging pack, grateful for the chance to rest his leg. There's only one slight rustle of sand crouching underfoot. He sprang to see that it was surrounded. Where the hell did he come from? By 5 hard-looking, well-armed Libyans. One stepped forward and began broken Italian. What are you doing here, foreigner? You are no soldier. Do you not know for this night protected by Muhammad Umar al-Muqta? No Italian dogs are suffered to live here. Then Gemara stood and began in even more broken Arabic. I know, but I must be here nonetheless. I am Dr. Gemario Carbon, and I'm here with a medical peace mission. I was ordered to offer my services free of charge to any and all the Libyans who request them. Would you guide me to the nearest settlement? I would like to get to work as soon as possible. A little thorough search of his bag, his captors, though compatriots, more returned him. Lady spoke again. Very well, Doctor. You may accompany us to camp, however, you will follow all of my instructions to the letter. One deviation from command, you will die, understood? He nodded. Good. The party trudged away. Gemario began finally to relax. He would have just seen another day, at least. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, he could really make a difference in people. By a million acts of kindness, we can bring brotherhood even to this bloody desert. With the power of kindness. So restore order, and I'll be reading this next time. Got the episode over here, and I'm tired as hell. Holy shit. So yeah, we're doing this here. We're doing something rather different. Democracy. Well, radical liberalism, as I said. I think it was Gorbachev over here. What to do is his thing. That's an issue I'd like to do at some point. Anyway, I'm gonna be doing this and that. Next time we're gonna be dealing with our administration and do sandwich theory. Possibly experience ourselves even greater. So until then, I'll see y'all later. Bye.